Hello, my name is Sylvia, and I am running for a fourth term for Wareham School Committee. I want to thank WCTV for allowing me the opportunity to speak to the voting citizens of Wareham. I am seeking a fourth term. I wasn't going to run again, but the work isn't done. And there are some initiatives that we've started that I would like to see implemented. So I think that it would be only fair that I see these things through. Our young people are our most valuable resource, and if we are going to succeed as a nation, we have to make sure that we do everything we possibly can to give our young people a competitive edge at whatever they choose to do with their lives. So I welcome the opportunity to serve as a fourth term. I'm so happy to be serving Wareham because Wareham is my home and I love this town. A little bit about me. I am the son of Portuguese factory workers. My brother I have one brother. He's a CFO of a large corporation. I'm married to Laurie, a retired high school teacher at Wareham High School. I have three daughters. Cindy is a teacher, Beth is a guidance director, and Amy is a registered nurse. I have two beautiful grandsons, Joey age 6, Quincy age 5. I graduated from Taunton High School in 1961, started teaching in Wareham in 1966, became a permanent resident in 1979. I was a teacher and department head at Wareham High School for 31 years, and I retired after 38 years as principal at Sandwich High School. I hold a bachelor's degree in business administration, a master of science degree in business education, and a master of arts degree in school administration, and a doctorate in education leadership. While I've been on the school committee, we've had some accomplishments, and I'd just like to briefly mention some of the accomplishments that the school committee has had during my 3 terms. First and foremost is I think that we developed a strategic plan when I first came on the board. I had done some work with strategic planning in Rhode Island in inner city schools, and I recognized very early on that we were a ship without a rudder. So now we have a district strategic plan. It is updated on an annual basis, and we have the action plans to go along with it. We established a new evaluation system for the superintendent. Unfortunately, the old evaluation was a very narrow evaluation that basically didn't do much in terms of looking at the multifaceted aspects of being a superintendent. We have, since then, redesigned the evaluation system. We negotiated when Dr. Rabinovich came on, and we are using that new evaluation system that uses a multifaceted job evaluation system, and his pay raise is dependent on how he scores on that evaluation system, which is very multifaceted. I think that this was definitely a step in the right direction because the evaluation that we were using just was inadequate. We've implemented 2 alternative schools. We established the Wareham Education Foundation, which provides funding for activities at all grade levels. We've developed performance-based assessments. As you know, portfolio is being used as a graduation requirement at Wareham High School. We have an open and collaborative budget development process. We've always met with the FinCom and with the Board of Selectmen prior to going to town meeting with the budget. We now have live broadcasts of the school committee meetings so that the citizens can see the school committee at work firsthand. We've redesigned school improvement plans, and we did a self-evaluation of the school committee. I think this is one of our biggest accomplishments in that we evaluated ourselves, and we were incidentally rated as a high-functioning school committee by the Massachusetts Association of School Committees. I think every board in town should take a step back and do a self-evaluation and a self-reflective activity, and I think that that's very important in terms of moving forward as a board. I'm very, very happy at where the school committee is now. There are some issues before us in education, and I'd just like to mention them really quickly. We have to close the achievement gap, but we also have to close the funding gap. The achievement gap in Wareham, we are not at state average. But we are close to state average. But on the funding gap, we are so far beyond being anywhere close to state average. We have to do something about that. We cannot solve revenue problems on the expense side of the ledger all the time. We need more community involvement. We need activism, a commitment to putting pressure on our state and federal leaders to fund their mandates. We need to develop a realistic capital plan, both on town side and school side. We need to reshape teacher evaluation so that it really reflects good, positive teaching and learning and provides a springboard for good dialogue, for good teaching. We need to expand the arts and co-curricular experiences. We're not doing enough there. And we need to reshape time on learning. We need to provide more time for our students to learn and to be academically engaged in school. And lastly, we have to improve the relationship with other town boards and establish community partnerships. I think that these are the issues that are facing us today. And I don't like to read, but I do have a statement that I would like to read. And it's kind of puts in the goals that I have for myself and also the school committee if I am elected for a fourth term. I asked for your vote on April 5th, 2011 for Wareham School Committee. If elected to a fourth term, I promise to use all of my knowledge, experience, and judgment in the continuous efforts to provide quality education to the children of Wareham. I will remain committed to fiscal responsibility while broadening educational experiences for all students and narrowing the achievement gap in all core academic areas in all grades. I will focus on the pursuit of excellence for staff and students. I will work toward the development of a sound and current core curriculum taught by competent, energized, well-provisioned professionals. I will be driven by the belief that all professional staff should be grounded in the philosophy that all students can learn at high levels. I will be dedicated to providing quality professional development, adequate funding, and the development of curriculum and experiential education opportunities which will serve as the vehicle for high-quality outcomes. An educational atmosphere must be propagated that extends far beyond the core curriculum and high-stakes testing. It must maximize attitudes of students and all educational staff on being the best. I firmly believe that there needs to be an increased commitment to preserving the investment in our school building infrastructure. Excellence in education is achieved within the walls of a sound, clean, safe, and well-equipped school building. It is a vital component in maintaining attitudes of high expectations and achievement. For a variety of reasons, particularly funding, we have compromised the necessary maintenance and updates to our school buildings. This will be one of my top priorities. Finally, there needs to be an increased effort to bring all stakeholders into the Wareham Public Schools improvement effort. We need to expand the partnership and involvement between parents and the school community in all aspects of the educational process, including but not limited to direct involvement at the school building level and as true partners in the education of their children at home. We need to strengthen existing educational partnerships within the community and to consistently try to develop new relationships with the community focused on educational quality for all students. Ladies and gentlemen, my work is not done. I ask for your vote on April 5th. Thank you very much for your time. And please vote on April 5th, Election Day.
I want to thank WCTV for allowing me this opportunity. I'm running for Selectman in Wareham. My name is Frank DeFelice. My education is an associate in applied science from Wentworth Institute. My occupation is the inspector of building, the assistant health agent, the ADA coordinator, and the zoning enforcement officer for the town of Eastham for the last 10 years. I am presently the president of the Eastham Employees Association. There's 39 members there. I've negotiated the last 3 contracts for the town with the union employees. I'm on the board of directors of the Southeast Mass Building Officials, and I'm also vice president of the Southeast Mass Building Officials. My state license and certification, I'm board certified wastewater treatment plant operator, and that's a 4M, and at the present time I operate the FAST system for the fire station in Eastham. I am Title V certified. I have a construction supervisor license. I've been married for 35 years to my wife Patty. I have 2 children, James and Kim, and 2 grandchildren, TJ and Dominic. What I think I can bring to Wareham the most is my experience as a past selectman in the Milton, New Hampshire. I was appointed, elected, and re-elected. I will not be going in carte blanche and empty. I've been in municipal government as a selectman and as a worker. I am also a member of the BPOE, Elks, and the Redmen of Wareham. I'm also a member of the, well, I was a member of the National Guards for 6 years with an honorable discharge. And just to throw it in, since 2001, my truck has gone over 290,000 miles. I want to see the people. I think I have common sense, and that's what I would like to see happening in Wareham. There are front burner and back burner issues, and some are more pressing than others. I feel the budget right now at the present time, my understanding is we're 1 million in the red, and I can't understand that being, given the new mall, given the construction that's going on in the town, the commercial, the residential. We have Wareham is blessed with a good base, and to me, I can't understand why we should be in the red. Although I do know that we've had turmoil in the last 4 or 5 years, and we've had switches of town administrators, and that could lead to one of the problems. Another problem I see is that we don't have a full-time police chief. And I really feel that that's an important position, and it shouldn't be part-time. My understanding is that the present police chief works 2 days a week, and he could be doing, and in fact, he is doing a good job when it comes to the criminal in the town. But for 2 days a week, you know, we don't need an electronic police chief. So that, I feel, is important. It's been going on for 1.5 years, 2 years. We need to have, he need either bring his loyalty to here and Wareham or stay in North Andover. But the decision has to be made. And I know that we're going to have a problem probably paying what he's looking for. My understanding of what I'm seeing, he makes like $133,000 in North Andover. And what can Wareham pay? We're in trouble with money. You know, I'm sure that, I'm not saying that we not get him, because he's done a decent job. But 2 days a week, there's got to be, we have a great police force. That's why the things that have been happening are happening, because the ones we have working on there. So we need to get somebody here. If it's him, that's fine, do it. If not, let's just get a full-time police chief. The other problem is my understanding that there's a number of union contracts that aren't settled yet. To my knowledge, I think there's 6 of them. And what I'm hearing is that there's going to be back pay given to all these unions. Some of them that haven't got paid for no raises or anything for 4 or 5 years. That money is going to have to be paid back. So I don't know where all that money's coming from, and that's going to be another problem coming up with that money. So, you know, it's just like, I feel I can help the town of Wareham, given my past experience as a selectman, given my experience working in town government. I feel I can be a positive force, and I think we can move Wareham in the right direction. So I ask the people of Wareham to please consider me as their selectman. Thank you.
My fellow citizens, my name is Joseph Ashley, and I would like to share with you why I am running for the position of Deputy Moderator. I believe that the best leader is often the best listener. I believe that my youthfulness is an asset to this position, and that involving young people in government is critical to our town's future. I believe that the town meeting form of government, and that it is the best form of government for our community. I believe the moderator and the deputy moderator must be unbiased managers of the town meeting process. And I believe I am the best candidate for the position of deputy moderator. I am a full-time student at Massasoit Community College, majoring in criminal justice. I live in East Wareham, and over the past 5 years, I have attended our town meetings on a regular basis. I have become a student of town meeting, learning its functions through the hands-on experience of being a part of town meeting process. As an ordinary citizen, I have been an active participant in the town meeting process, voting, attending, and occasionally speaking in that great assembly of minds that is meant to allow ordinary citizens like me to take part in the government of their town. The town meeting process provides a unique experience that voters in cities do not possess. It allows the voters of the town to play an active role in their town government, rather than delegating that responsibility to a city council that may or may not represent them. The true, everyday Americans. Town meeting allows the development of new ideas for the town by allowing the citizens to carry out the self-governance of the town. This is the purest form of democracy, where the people directly take part in their government. With this in mind, I represent the future of Wareham. Those will be called to govern it tomorrow. But in order to govern it tomorrow, we need to accept the concept of our future today. Rather than letting ourselves be consumed by the past, let us embrace the fact that the present paves the way for the future. I am perfectly capable of executing the position for which I am running. At a moment's notice, I am ready to preside over town meeting. In the JRTC at Wareham High School, I achieved the distinguished rank of captain. I was both the color guard commander and a company commander. As color guard commander, I was responsible for the supervising practices, training each member to achieve correctly every maneuver a color guard must make. I was entrusted with the duties of coordinating, scheduling, instructing, and leading the color guard in many events, competitions, and parades. I was also responsible for keeping an organized team roster with every participant in the color guard. I was in a position where I listened to others' ideas and then made the decisions, some of them difficult, on how exactly events were going to be executed. During this time, I was required by my battalion staff to write up and put into effect a standard operating procedure for how every practice was to be run. There were times when I had to make tough coaching decisions, such as what disciplinary actions must be taken if something unacceptable occurred while at practice. For I was in charge of making sure, for the team members' safety, that the equipment was used correctly. I was also called upon to advance or raise the school's flag every morning and retreat or lower the school's flag in the afternoon. Thus, accordingly, I had to train others to work together and properly fold and take care of our nation's flag. It was here that I gained the necessary leadership skills that will qualify me to take the moderator's place and run town meeting if I am called upon to do so. I have supervised a company of almost 30 people as a company commander, in which, like that of the color guard commander, I was entrusted with being their leader. But these are not the only qualifications that qualify me to be deputy moderator. For the 2 years, I was youth representative to the Episcopal Church, Cape and Islands Deanery, where I acted as an elected representative of my church. I have also been an active member of the community of Wareham. During my time at Wareham High School, I was the morning show weatherman and gained experience in making presentations. I have also sung solos in front of my peers at church and school. This gives me the confidence to succeed at being in front of people and running a meeting. I have been a committed team member at work, showing up on time and working in the same place for the past 3 years. Naturally, in the restaurant business, I have seen many people come in and then quickly leave. But there are also many dedicated people, just as myself, who are committed to working hard. I mention my dedication because I feel it is the necessary quality of leadership. For if one is not dedicated to the task, then one is dormant and is unfit to lead. This is because without dedication, one will fail at whatever he or she is called upon to do. Wareham needs someone who will be dedicated to working with the moderator to improve and maintain the town meeting process. It does not matter who the current moderator may be. It matters how well the deputy moderator can work with that person. This is why I am the right person for the job, because I am capable of working with any moderator for the unbiased advancement of the beliefs of the people of this town. My friends, it is also important to remind you that the best leader is also the best listener. Not the one that parades himself just to be seen, but rather the one who is down to earth and listens to every person he meets. I am that person who listens, and that is exactly why I am right for the position of deputy moderator in the town of Wareham. I listen to every town meeting participant, and if called upon to preside over town meeting, my decisions will be made fairly. Finally, a moderator and deputy moderator should remain neutral and not rule toward either side of any issue when presiding over town meeting. This is a challenge for anybody, but you should vote for me because I will be neutral, acting like a judge with complete fairness and consideration. I know that some of you have been leery about my age. Well, my friends, I may be young, but young people in history have done some amazing things. King David struck down a Philistine giant who was a trained warrior when he was only a child. President John F. Kennedy was thought of as young, yet he is still one of the most respected presidents to this day. If you want to improve Wareham, encourage young people to vote, and pave the way for the future, then vote for me. I ask you for your vote on Tuesday, April 5th. I'm Joseph James Ashley, and I'm running for Deputy Moderator of the town of Wareham. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Stephen P. Coughlin, and I am running for the re-election to the office of Constable in the town of Wareham. Please come out and vote on April 5th. The polls are open until 8 p.m. There are some pretty important races this year as newcomers enter the political arena. It is the new people that inspire the democratic way of life in our town and our country. The job of constable is an important position in the legal community, with lawyers, the courts, and public as well. A constable serves notices for the town and serves subpoenas, summonses, restraining orders, petitions, and probate notices issued by the court and attorneys, as well as the public. The office of constable is one of the oldest and finds its origin in the ancient Roman civilization as Comus Stabuli, Count of the Stable, the commander of the Roman cavalry. The office of constable was transplanted in Massachusetts colonial times with the common law. In each of the original colonies, the constable was one of the first offices created and was an important factor in maintaining the king's peace in the new land. I have been a constable for the past 27 years. Service in the town of Taunton, the town of Rainham, and the town of Wareham for the past 6 years. I am also a notary public and a justice of the peace. Both positions are appointed by the governor of Massachusetts. I am semi-retired from the transportation industry and now help my daughter out in her business as a transportation broker here in Wareham. If you need freight moved, give us a call. I spent the past 47 years in transportation. I am a Massachusetts native, born in Weymouth, and attending schools in Western Massachusetts where I was brought up. Moving back east in 1964. I lived in Brockton, where I met my bride of 39 years, and moved to Taunton, where Diane and I brought up our 3 children, Steve Jr., Shelley, and John. We have lived in Wareham for the past 7 years and have long been associated with the Village of Onset as members of the Point Independence Yacht Club and the Onset Bay Association. We first bought in Onset in 2001, where our daughter, son-in-law, and 3 grandchildren now live. And then in 2003 bought another property in Onset and moved to Onset permanently in the fall of that year. We love the Village of Onset and the town of Wareham. It feels like we have lived here forever. I very much like being involved in the town that we live in and enjoy giving back to the community by donating my time to serve the town offices. In past elections, the turnout has been very light. Let's see if this year we can set a record. I implore the voters of Wareham to come out and voice your choices for the elected offices that are open this year. Your vote does count. Thank you for taking your valuable time to listen to me and the other candidates that are running for elective office in town. Again, I thank you, and please come out and vote on April 5th.
My name is Ellen Begley, and I want to be your next selectman. Allow me to tell you a little bit about myself. I was a seasonal resident of Onset since 1991, and I've been a full-time resident of Onset since 1995. I was the Civic Beautification Chairman for the Onset Bay Association in those early years. I'm a member of the Wareham Garden Club and had the pleasure of serving as the president of the Garden Club from 2006 to 2008. I've been a registered nurse for nearly 35 years. I've worked in state-of-the-art facilities, Children's Hospital in Boston, for 27 years, and have worked as a volunteer in primitive conditions in third world countries and Eastern Europe. I'm skilled at listening, researching, consensus building, prioritizing issues, and formulating short-term and long-term goals in collaboration with multiple members of a team. The premise of teamwork and a team approach to formulate goals remains the same despite the conditions or circumstances for the best possible outcome for the project, or in the case of my profession, patient care. My chosen profession is about caring, and I care about Wareham. The Board of Selectmen serve as the chief policy-making agency of the town. They are responsible for the establishment of policy directives and guidelines to be followed by all town agencies serving under it without attempting to be involved in the day-to-day administration of the affairs of the town. That, as we know, falls under the town administrator appointed by the board. The Board of Selectmen is the licensing authority, appointing authority, except where otherwise stated in town charter, current road commissioners, and sewer commissioners. So what does this mean for you? What are your expectations of a selectman for Wareham? Approachability, availability, impartial enforcement of laws and policies, sensitivity to the concerns of the citizens and taxpayers of Wareham? After all, we are entrusting our hard-earned tax dollars and governmental decisions that affect all of us to the discretion of our town government. How about a vision for the future? I can tell you what my vision is. I want to see us establish a current master plan. Don't misunderstand me. I don't mean throw it all out. I mean update the plan to issues facing us in 2011. The last one was written in 1998, and the one before that was 1976. A current plan would provide us with measurable goals, goals that can be reevaluated on an ongoing basis and redirected in a timely way should we drift off track. Many that serve Wareham as volunteers, elected and appointed, have done so with the best intentions for Wareham in mind. However, I believe that the communication pathways between the committees and boards and commissions have proved to be inadequate. Inadequate communication can result in the narrowing of a visual field, losing sight of the big picture, contentiousness, and lack of progress. Intentional progress for Wareham should address responsible growth for successful community and economic development, community preservation, public safety, and fiscal responsibility, to name a few issues. The Board of Selectmen appoint the majority of the volunteers to various committees and boards, serve as liaisons, set and implement policies, and must demonstrate cohesiveness, leadership, transparency, integrity, and respectful debate. As a selectman for Wareham, I would encourage the board to meet with the chairman of all committees, publicly and inclusively on a regular basis, and have the committees meet together to evaluate their collective efforts towards the achievable goals, at least annually. I've been encouraged by the diversity of talent of the current Westfield Committee and hope to see the Westfield project to its fruition, providing safe, affordable senior housing. Now that's a measurable goal. Interim Chief Stanley has demonstrated my point with great success. He came and listened to the concerns of the citizens, assessed the needs of the community regarding public safety and needs within Wareham Police Department, collaboratively formulated an action plan, clearly and concisely communicated that action plan to our town government, the community, and his department, established achievable and measurable goals, recognized the potential, and validated the success of men and women in his department. He encouraged collaboration and relationship building with our Massachusetts safety agencies and the Wareham Police Department. As a selectman of Wareham, I want to achieve the same measurable success. I want to bring consensus and purpose to the Board of Selectmen. I want the Board of Selectmen to be seen as a team for Wareham and all Wareham citizens. First, we need to come together as a community. Together, we can achieve intentional progress resulting in an adequate infrastructure, ensure public safety, jobs, successful businesses, seasonal and year-round, fiscal stability, community preservation and conservation, and responsible growth. I want Wareham to be the best it can be. I know we can do better. My vision? That other towns in southeastern Massachusetts will look to Wareham and say, I want what Wareham has. Working together, they achieved a successful and vibrant community. My name is Ellen Begley. I am asking you to vote for me on April 5th for Wareham Selectmen. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Donna Bronk, and I'm running for the office of Selectman for the town of Wareham. I have lived in the town of Wareham since 1968. I have 3 children, and they've all gone to the Wareham school systems, and 2 of them still live in Wareham. I graduated from the class of 1970, and I'm very familiar with the Wareham schools, and I really have enjoyed living here in this town. I originally was born in Boston, grew up in Bucksport, Maine, and came to Hyde Park in the early 60s, where my mom met my dad now, my stepfather, and who has been a driving force in my life. Both my parents moved here in 1967, and we made this our home. I am married, as I said, and I've lived in the same neighborhood since 1971, so I'm very, very familiar with Wareham. In my previous life, I've been a property manager, a regional property manager for a firm in Boston called Federal Management Company. And I got into the property management actually in the 70s. And my specialty has always been affordable housing. And I traveled 22 years back and forth to Boston and all around the state. But every night I came home to Wareham because it just seemed as when I hit Middleborough, the smell of the fresh air was so refreshing, and it was just such a relief to come home. When I retired back 5 years ago, I decided to make a run for the Water Commission. And a woman said to me, she said, well, what have you done for the town? Why do you expect to get elected? And I kind of took a look at myself and I said, you know, you're right. You need to volunteer your time. So I went to see what boards were available, and I decided to get involved with the FinCom. Numbers has always been a passion for me, so I decided to, I was on that board, that brand new board that took over after everyone left. For the last year, I've had the opportunity of being the chairman of the FinCom, and it's been a marvelous experience. The one thing I do like about the FinCom is we're all unique. We all have different points, different values. We debate hotly, but we can go out and we can have a beer afterwards. Nothing is ever taken personally. And that's what I enjoy about the politicking end of things, and that's what I would like to see in the selectman level. I would like to see good, healthy debate and reasonable decisions, and folks to get along and be civil and work for the betterment of Wareham. Not for personal agendas, just for the good of Wareham. I'm running because my dad, Francis Carmichael, a lot of folks call him Hoagie, has been the driving force in my life. He has been behind me, and he has been, I admire him like I have never admired anyone else in my life. He has been such an example, such a loving person, and someone who I admire and aspire to be like. And my dad gave several years to the FinCom. My mother, Elizabeth Carmichael, gave many years to the Board of Appeals, and she also served on the original Charter Commission and wrote the Minority Report. And I remember how difficult it was for her to be the minority and to stand out there and stand out alone. And I always said to myself, you know, I owe it. I owe it to my family. I owe it to my community, because they've done so much for me to give back. So here I am, trying to be elected as your selectman. I can only tell you that I will be honest and hardworking, and I will listen. I will be more communicative to the people, and I think that's one of the big voids that happens in town politics. Decisions are made and people don't understand why. And if people understood a little bit about what was going on more, they would understand. They might not agree with me, but I would certainly explain everything in detail and explain why I made my decision. I would love to be your next selectman. However, if it doesn't happen, it's not going to define me as a person. I will continue to work for the betterment of the town of Wareham. I will continue to strive for better schools, better test results, and better community. And I can only tell you that my experience in my workforce would lead me to being a good director for you. One of the many things that I faced in my life, a lot of folks will say to you, well, what's the most challenging thing that you ever faced, Donna? Well, I can tell you the most challenging thing I ever faced in my life is cancer. And boy, did that stink, I'll tell you. But I was able to work and take my chemotherapy. I would leave Cambridge in the afternoons, on Friday afternoons, and I would go take the T over and take my chemotherapy, and then my son, who worked with me for 20 years, would pick me up and we would go home, and the same went for the radiation. And I just truly I was so gifted that I had the workforce and the people that I worked with to work through it. And when I came home to my community, the community was all behind me, and Wareham is a caring community. In Wareham, you walk down the street and a person says to you, hey, how you doing, Donna? And that's what I like the most about Wareham is people know your name and you can make a difference. And I would like very much to take this opportunity to make a difference in your community and be your spokesperson and be a person that you can count on and to listen to you and to explain whatever the objectives are that you have and guide you in the right direction. I want to thank everyone for this wonderful opportunity to run for Selectman, and I also want to invite folks to my kickoff meeting will be tomorrow evening at the fan club at 6:30. Please come down. We're going to have pizza, have soda, have a beer, whatever you might want to do, and talk about the issues. Love to see you all, and I certainly look forward to you voting for me, because I do believe that I am the most fiscally responsible candidate that is out there. I think I have the most experience, and I would like to put it to use for everyone and be your next selectman. So whatever you can do for me, I'd appreciate it. Thank you for the time that's been given to me, and I will see you all at the polls.
Hi, my name is Mike Schneider, and I am running for a seat on the Board of Selectmen. I have lived in Wareham for the past 20 years with my wife and 4 children. I'm a member of the Wareham Affordable Housing Trust. I was a member of the Wareham School Transportation Subcommittee, and I have moderated several public meetings of the Wareham Charter Review Committee. As a former Chief Executive Officer of Roxbury Tenants of Harvard, I have over 20 years' experience working with multiple boards and committees. I have worked extensively with government officials, institutional partners, and community stakeholders. I was privileged to serve in the leadership role of one of the most socially conscious and active grassroots neighborhood nonprofits in the state. I have been a part of the success of a community, and I have seen what a community is capable of achieving when everyone works together to accomplish common goals. It is an experience that has left me with a deep respect for people with differing viewpoints, but who are willing to come together, recognize the experience and knowledge of each other, and draw upon it for the common good. I have been involved with many community projects that directly reflected the needs, desires, and visions of the people I served. Among those projects were complex real estate transactions that created and preserved hundreds of desperately needed friendly, affordable housing units, and a multi-million-dollar community benefits package that brought health and wellness programs along with educational and job opportunities to a Boston neighborhood. I've also paved the way for the construction of the Carl J. Shapiro Center for Advanced Medicine and the creation of a vision that resulted in a public-private partnership that will produce a 70,000 square foot treatment center for the Massachusetts Department of Mental Health at no cost to the taxpayers of Massachusetts. As the CEO of Roxbury Tenants of Harvard, I was also directly responsible for all facets of operating an organization with a $16 million operating budget and $130 million worth of real estate assets that included 1,000 units of housing, 3 acres of underground parking, and 350,000 square feet of commercial space. I maintained a broad array of social service programs to meet the needs of a Boston neighborhood consisting of about 3,000 residents. Among those programs were a daycare center, an after-school program, a private community library, a community pool, health and wellness programs, recreational activities for senior citizens, and many programs that provided activities that expanded the educational, cultural, and social experiences of the neighborhood youth. I am very proud of the progress that was made in the Boston neighborhood that I served. I am also proud of the progressive momentum that Wareham has been making. The National Night Out event that took place in August and the recent Increase the Peace rally are examples of the successes that we can achieve when private citizens and public officials work together to make something positive happen for the town. One of the major challenges Wareham faces is our limited financial resources. There has always been fierce competition for the dollars that are available, and we must make sure every dollar is expended wisely. I will apply my skills and experience of managing a $16 million operating budget by working with the Finance Committee and the School Committee to develop a realistic plan and work to find creative ways to meet the needs of the taxpayers in a way that the town can afford. We've turned away from the practice of overspending that created deficits that had to be raised in the tax levies of later years. We need to make certain that established fiscal guidelines are adhered to, that as selectmen we periodically review them, that we assess how they are working, and implement changes when and where necessary. I will support the Capital Planning Committee in their efforts to to develop a comprehensive capital plan. And as a selectman, I will do everything I can to bring that plan to fruition. Many businesses continue to struggle in Wareham. I will implement policies that increase collaboration with CETA to attract an appropriate mix of businesses that complement the agricultural and coastal characteristics of Wareham. I will commit to hiring a permanent and competent community and economic director for our CETA department. I will work diligently to collaborate on joint promotional activities with the businesses of Onset Village and Main Street. We need to help existing business areas by encouraging infill and reuse of existing vacant commercial properties. Like the overwhelming majority of the Wareham Police Department and nearly every resident that I have spoken with, I strongly support the negotiations to bring Chief Richard Stanley on board as the full-time permanent Chief of Police. Wareham has seen the dramatic difference a chief with the experience, ability to lead, ability to teach and mentor, while simultaneously cultivating and encouraging growth from within the department can make. The department now has clear direction, good communication, established policies and directives, and comprehensive and regular training. The public's confidence in the police department and the perception of our police by those outside of Wareham can have a dramatic impact on property values and the success of any economic development plan for the town. Chief Stanley understands this and has brought in substantial grant monies that have provided our officers with much needed tools and training. I also continue to be a strong supporter of building clean, safe, and modern senior affordable housing. Building senior affordable housing at Westfield makes economic sense for Wareham, and it makes economic sense for our seniors who are struggling in very tough times. A housing expert showed how the town would benefit from a steady and substantial income stream from a town-owned piece of land that currently produces no income whatsoever. The addition of the recreation piece that will provide well-maintained sports fields for our youth is an additional benefit that will also give many seniors the ability to watch the sporting events and connect with the youth in Wareham. It might even provide a job or a business opportunity for an enterprising young hot dog vendor or two. I hope that Wareham continues to support the vision of marrying two worthwhile uses, recreation and senior affordable housing. I am also committed to working with the Wareham Housing Authority and other state agencies to improve the living conditions at Agawam Village and Redwood Park. Quality of life is important to all of us. It was Wareham's high quality of life, the beauty of our coastline, rivers, ponds, and the plentiful outdoor recreational activities that I enjoyed every summer of my childhood that brought me to Wareham with my family. Those natural resources are what make Wareham special. Those natural resources are an integral part of our quality of life and our local economy, and we must act as responsible stewards to protect them. Nitrogen pollution is a real issue that needs to be addressed with real solutions. The impairment of our waters is well documented, and we need to explore all reasonable options to minimize the impacts of nitrogen, which will aid in restoring shellfish populations to the levels we enjoyed in the past. I would love for my children to be able to enjoy scooping up scallops the way that I did in these waters as a child, and with a comprehensive plan to address all nitrogen contributors, we can achieve that goal. Above all else, as a selectman, I will be accountable to you and approachable at all times, and I will make certain that town business is conducted in the open. I will not base my decisions as a selectman on politics because I am not a politician. I am someone who cares deeply about Wareham and its future, and I will base my decisions on facts and on principle. The word cooperation does not and should not mean that someone should just go with the flow. I will never hesitate to speak up on your behalf when I feel decisions are being made that are not in your best interests or the interests of the community as a whole. I am Mike Schneider, and I humbly ask for your vote for Selectmen on April 5th. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. My name is John Cronan, and I'm running for a seat on the Wareham Board of Selectmen. As some of you know, I was a selectman from April 2007 through April of 2010, losing my bid for re-election last year. That experience, as well as my 3 years on the board, taught me volumes about the people of Wareham. This is a great town, has a lot of nice people in it, and those people expect and demand people on the board to be open, honest, and hardworking. That's exactly why I'm back at it. I am honest and an independent in the way I approach things. My years of volunteer work on the zoning board and the recycling committee, as well as the Board of Selectmen, make me the experienced candidate with good knowledge of the comings and goings in Wareham. My engineering degree and my vast construction experience of almost 30 years really helps with the needs with capital planning, sewer issues, and development in general. While previously on the board, I was instrumental in the hiring of our town administrator, Mr. Andrews, and was part of the change that people wanted at the time, such as the police chief, the town accountant, the building commissioner, and the town planner, to list a few. Going forward, financial stability is a priority, as well as capital planning moving forward. Economic development and the support of our small businesses in town is key to the town's success. I learned firsthand that the people of Wareham want an independent thinking leader, open and fair to all points of view, not just someone trying to be politically correct all the time. I promise to lead by example. No more negativity, just communicating better amongst ourselves, and business will start running smoother than ever before. I've worked with Selectman Cruz. He's a real gentleman to deal with. I've spoken with Mrs. Winslow on numerous occasions and feel very confident that we will work very well together. I've watched Mr. Holmes, and I've spoken to the other candidates briefly over the past, and I know I can work with any one of them. I have no political affiliations with any group and have no personal agenda against anybody. You want and need an honest, open-minded selectman, and I know I'm that person. I ask for your vote on April 5th of 2011. And if you're interested in helping me, my wife and I started a committee, and any donations could go to the committee to elect John Cronan for selectman at 207 Charge Pond Road, Wareham, and it's 02571. And my home phone for everybody is 508-291-0006. I appreciate the opportunity to get a minute to talk to you. I know I can work hard for the people of Wareham. I've done it before, and I'd like to do it again. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Dave Smith. I'm running for Board of Assessors. I would really like to represent the citizens of Wareham. I'm not reading a speech here that I've written out. I'm sort of talking from my heart here, and I hope that it comes out all right. I really believe that the Board of Assessors is one of the most important boards in the Wareham community, because we deal primarily with actually bringing in the money, whereas something like the Financial Committee or one of the other boards talks about and deals with the dispensement of the money. We're actually trying to get the money in. Since about, I don't know what the percentage is, but a large percentage of the money comes from the taxpayers who own property. It's very important that these taxpayers pay their fair share. And I would like to be able to assure the taxpayers, the citizens of Wareham, that they are being assessed properly, that their money is actually, or I should say that the value of their house is the actual amount of money that they should be paying, and they're not paying too much, and the people that are possibly not being assessed enough would pay more. Now, I don't really have a background, but one of the things that the state of Massachusetts provides is a course to teach people. As a matter of fact, it's a mandatory course that you have to pass in order to be an assessor. It's a 6-week course, and at the end you have to take a test. And if you don't pass the test, you have to take it again, and if you still don't pass it, you have to take the course over again. And if you can't pass the test, you can't be an assessor. So it'll be a very, very in-depth test and learning experience. And when I'm finished, I would like to open myself up to the scrutiny of the people of Wareham so that they can actually feel confident that they're being assessed at the proper amount. I also have a website, Elect Dave Smith, if you want to see more about me. Check it out. Certainly within 6 weeks, I'll be pretty much educated and be able to help you out. Thank you for
listening, and we'll hopefully see you in about 6 weeks. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Petersen, and I would like to be your next selectman. A lot of people have asked me who I am and why I'm running for selectman. I am the mother of 2 children, Emma and Anthony. I've lived in Wareham for 7 years with my husband David and my 2 dogs, Jessica and Finnegan. I was born and primarily raised in the city of Taunton, where I spent most of my childhood other than short stints to Biloxi, Mississippi, Louisville, Kentucky, and Detroit, Michigan. I spent many years in doing different things in that town, including going through school and different activities with friends and family. I also then took time to go to college. I had to work full-time to go to college. I had to put myself through school, so I spent a lot of time working nights, weekends, overnights. And my primary career has been to work with people with developmental disabilities. That's where I spent the last 24 years of my life, and I spend time advocating on their behalf to have dignified and valued lives. I've found that job to be very rewarding, and I have made a lot of great friends within that community and feel that it's a lifelong endeavor. The reason I'm running for selectman in Wareham is that Wareham has a lot of great people. I've had the opportunity to meet people through the church that I belong to, which is the First Congregational Church of Wareham. There's unique stores, there's unique beaches, there's the arts community, and again, there's a lot of different people who are very open and welcoming and make you enjoyable to live here. So with that said, I think that the town has a great potential to continue to make progress and to meet the needs of all the people that live here. I think that I have the skills to help nurture greater collaboration between the Selectman's office, the town administrator, the school committee, businesses, and all of our wonderful grassroots organizations so that we can be a fully integrated team. And by that I mean a group of people that work together, and even if we don't agree on something, we can at least agree to disagree, but come to a consensus of what we at least think is the best option on behalf of the people that we're there to represent. I've met a lot of different people in different boards in our town, as well as people who just don't have the time or can't volunteer, or feel intimidated to volunteer. And they have great ideas. And I would like to bring that information forth so that our town can continue to grow and that we can foster the leadership that's necessary for the residents of Wareham to prosper and for our community to be valued. What I have great difficulty with is when I interact or meet different people from different towns or people talk to me about different issues, it's automatically validated or stated, what else do you expect from Wareham? I would like to change that. Not I alone, but we as a community, to stay, so that people understand and believe in the idea that we, the people of Wareham, will expect nothing less than good schools, safe streets, a good place for our children to play, job stability, good financial planning with the town, smart growth within a community, and most importantly, a respectful leadership within the community that we can take pride in. So again, I would like it so that when people talk about Wareham, rather than hearing people say, what else would you expect from Wareham? I would like to hear them say that the people of Wareham will expect nothing less than a valued community. In relation to job stability, our people of Wareham, many people, including my husband, need to work. It's a recession and everybody is in the position that they need to have stable employment. And most of our residents travel outside of Wareham to get work. A lot of our retail businesses are great options for people, but it's a very limited pool. We have Toby as a great resource, and then we will have the Rosebrook Park. I would like to see our career center continue to look at potential jobs within that new Rosebrook Park and find out ways that we could offer courses or certification programs or easily access them so that other people within Wareham can seek different careers if they're underemployed or just don't like the career that they're in now, or would like something different that offers a little bit more money. We also could look at some other manufacturing options that could complement the healthcare industry. The Worcester area is the leader in manufacturers for biotech and different manufacturing jobs, which pay 9 to 10% higher than typical manufacturing jobs. We also need to grow our tax revenue. It's the basic tax revenue that allows us to fund our schools, to fund our police department, and to fund other programs within the town of Wareham. We have a lot of high-valued homes that are sitting vacant that I would like to see sold. But to do that, we need to bring in opportunities for people to want to buy here so that the community is something that they would seek and want to be a part of. And there's many things here that we just don't advertise well enough, like how welcoming all of the people here are, how approachable people are, the arts community, the beaches, so forth and so on, to help us to grow that tax foundation so that we do not continue to have such devastating effects when there's any changes in state and federal aid. We also need to enhance the quality of our schools. I know that the role of the Board of Selectmen is not to govern the school system, but we need to work hand in hand with them to have better programs, to meet the MCAS standards, and to help families be more involved so that they know what's going on and take pride in our school. In other areas, to increase public safety, to work with other organizations within the town, for the police to continue their valiant effort in trying to make our streets safe, and to continue to increase the overall feeling that people are comfortable to access any and all of the activities that we offer here. I want people to want to seek out Wareham, to come to our events, to patron our businesses, and to invest in our community as a whole. We need to continue to support our small businesses so that we can maintain a unique small seaside community feel. We need to ensure that we remain different than any town USA. To bring all of this together is critical that I work with as a selectman, if you so choose to elect me to be so, to update our master plan. There was great efforts put into developing that plan in 1998. Many parts of it are still pertinent today. And if we can update that master plan, we can bring in all the initiatives and hard work of all the people of Wareham and use that as the guide to make decisions, so that that is the place from which we say, is this idea in line with the plan, rather than who it was originated from or why, if it was brought up by a different person, but is it in line with the plan? So again, thank you very much, and I hope that you will allow me to be your next selectman. Have a good day.
Hello, my name is Kenneth Fons from Onset, and I'm seeking re-election for the position of school committee. 3 years ago, I decided for the first time in my life to throw my hat into the political field. And 3 years later, I've decided that my goals are not complete, and I'm running again to continue to work towards achieving them. Although I'm running unopposed, I still ask for your support. Your vote is very important to me, a vote of confidence that I can do the best job that you expect of me. Starting with my second term, we will be faced with some tough decisions. It will not be the first time we've had to make tough decisions. In my first term, we worked on an extensive search to hire a new superintendent. As tough as it was, we had to close the East Wareham and West Wareham schools. We eliminated a lot of administrative positions. We worked hard to reinstate some programs, including freshman sports. This year, I will step into the role of chairman of the school committee. And as the chairman, I will work hard with my committee members to fight for the schools and to get the funds for the programs that we need. But I know we must also keep in mind the needs of our town for many areas, including the police, maintenance, and other town departments. That's why, as chairman, my first line of action will be to meet with the chairman of the Board of Selectmen, Mr. Cruz. Together, we must set a calendar of meetings so that both the selectmen and the school committee are always discussing the issues at hand. And you and the public have the right to know what's going on in the schools as soon as it happens. I will answer questions that are proposed to me by the media, and I will answer all of the media outlets at the same time. I know sometimes you read things in one paper and they're different the next day in another paper. As the chairman, I will release a statement at the same time to all of the papers, and that way they all have the same response at the same time. Just recently, members of the Selectmen, myself, along with many other committees, worked hard on the Stop the Violence, Increase the Peace rally. That was very successful, and just one example how working together we can get things done. So I hope to see everyone on Thursday, March 24th at the Onset VFW for Candidates Night. Stop by and say hello to me. This is a very important time in our town. Even though the school committee will stay intact, we will be electing 2 new selectmen, a new deputy moderator, and other important positions in the town. It is important to all of those candidates that everyone gets out and votes this year. Let's all get involved and keep Wareham moving in the direction to be the best place in the area. Thank you for your support. Tell all your friends, family members, how important it is to get everyone out and vote this year.
Hello, I'm John Donahue, candidate for Deputy Moderator, and I'm asking for your vote on April 5th. What does the Deputy Moderator do, you may ask? The role of the Deputy Moderator is to assist the Town Moderator in preparation for town meeting and to assume all duties and responsibilities of Moderator in the event that the Town Moderator is unavailable or if the Moderator recuses himself from presiding over a certain article in order to avoid any conflict of interest. The responsibilities of the Town Moderator are governed by the Massachusetts General Laws, the Wareham Home Rule Charter, and the bylaws of the Town of Wareham. The primary duties of the Town Moderator are conducting town meeting and serving as chairman of the appointing authority, which appoints citizen volunteers to a number of town boards and committees. In preparation for town meeting, the Deputy Moderator should be knowledgeable of all articles on the town meeting warrant. The Deputy Moderator should also evaluate the required quantum of the vote for passage and interpret the scope of the articles to determine to what extent an article may be amended without changing the original intent of the article. So why am I the most qualified candidate for Deputy Moderator, you may ask? I served as your Town Moderator for the previous 9 years, up until last year. I'm also a graduate of the University of Massachusetts at Amherst with a bachelor's degree. I hold a law degree from the Southern New England School of Law. I have attended town meeting for more than 30 years. I currently serve as the Vice Chairman of the Plymouth County Charter Commission. I'm a member of numerous civic and social organizations, serving in such capacities as chairman and treasurer of some of those organizations. During my 9 years as Town Moderator, I initiated a number of innovative procedural changes to enhance the town meeting experience. Let me give you a couple of examples of my efforts to improve the efficiency of town meeting and to reduce the time that it takes to complete our business at town meeting. I modified a publication produced by one of my colleagues entitled Town Meeting Procedure in a Nutshell to make it conform with the way that we conduct our town meetings in Wareham. This booklet was distributed at every town meeting, and it explains in layman's terms such things as how to make a motion, how to amend a motion, how to question the moderator's declaration of a vote, or how to take an article out of order, to name a few examples. This publication was posted on the Town of Wareham's website under the Moderators page. I assisted in the introduction of PowerPoint presentations at town meeting. All warrant articles and motions, along with any relevant backup information, such as charts or maps, are projected on a widescreen display at town meeting. This has helped everyone follow along with the flow of the articles and the motions at town meeting, and has consequently sped up our deliberations without compromising the integrity of the town meeting process. I also introduced the use of a consent calendar. The consent calendar is a method of combining routine housekeeping, non-controversial articles into one motion to be voted on without debate. This results in a more efficient use of everyone's time. For example, we dispensed of approximately 15 articles in one motion at one town meeting, which probably saved us at least a half an hour to an hour's time. Several years ago, I introduced the use of high school student tellers for the purpose of counting votes at town meeting. Not only did these students assist the adult tellers, the town clerk, and I, but the experience also provided a real-time educational opportunity for the students to participate in and to observe our legislative process. In closing, I wish to stress that it's important to have a seasoned deputy moderator, someone who is well-versed in the law, the priority of motions on the floor, the parliamentary rules of order, and past precedents of town meeting. It's also important to have a deputy moderator who is not only fair and objective, but who has the ability to remain focused and calm and is able to concentrate and multitask under stressful conditions. I believe that I am that person. I ask that you consider my qualifications to serve as your deputy moderator, and I ask for your vote on April 5th. Thank you.